Alarmo. You know, the alarm clock that threatens you if you don't come out of bed on time. I have been using it for a year as my alarm clock, and here's what I think about it. It's mid-2024. The Switch 2 rumor hype train has departed with full speed, and there are rumors of a device being shipped. A device without a battery, but with a power cord. And Nintendo announces an alarm clock. Safe to say people were confused. Not me. I bought the thing immediately. Why? Because I have problems. Problems getting out of bed. And Alarmo needs you to do exactly that. Get out of bed to stop the sounds. No more snoozing for you, because it starts ringing again if you sneak back into bed. For, at the time, $100, you get the Alarmo clock, an instruction manual, and a power cord. Wait, that's actually mine. Yeah, that's right. For the price of $100, you have to find a power brick yourself. This is my first issue with Alarmo. I get that a device you bring with you and only has to charge once a day can do without a charger in the box. I myself share one USB-C charger for all my devices. Though with a device like Alarmo, which is always plugged in, I would have expected it to be included. Luckily, Alarmo did not need a lot of power, so I used an old tablet charger I had still lying around. Once you give Alarmo power, it automatically turns on and you are presented with a setup. This is where you run into the first weird experience with this thing. You need to rotate this big button on the top to move through the menus. And even the Wi-Fi password you have to fill in using this rotating button. It's not ideal. This would have been better if the setup was possible by using a phone. However, this is not an option. So once you've survived this setup, the rest is quite clear. It gives a great tutorial on how to place the Alarmo so the sensor can see you, and it makes it very clear where to place Alarmo next to your bed. The technology in this thing is quite cool. Alarmo senses your movements using a 24 GHz millimeter wave motion sensor underneath the LCD display. It also doesn't really see you. A camera pointed at you while you sleep would be quite creepy. Instead, it uses the radio waves that bounce off your body to determine the distance to objects or people and its movement speeds. This sensor also has the benefit that it can be used in the dark. With a camera this would be challenging. These radio waves also enable it to see you through a blanket. Yes, it actually can see through stuff. When I move, you can clearly see Mario move as well. Alarmo can see me while I'm on the other side of a blanket. The developers of Alarmo actually go really in depth on the Nintendo Ask the Developer website. It's an interesting read, and they also show prototypes of Alarmo. It's really cool stuff. So let's talk about the main feature of this thing. Of course, the alarms. There are several different themes. As of the beginning of October, there's a Zelda theme, a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 3, Ring Fit Adventure, Super Mario Bros., Pikmin 4 and Animal Crossing New Horizons. Each theme has several alarms available, and it's possible to pick one specific alarm or to put it to random. This means that every time the alarm goes off, you get a different alarm. You can do this within the theme's context, so I choose the theme Super Mario Bros. And I only get the Super Mario Bros. Alarms. Or you can mix these by picking random between all the themes. However, I'm not a big Splatoon fan, and I also don't care much for the Ring Fit Adventure alarms. I would like the ability to turn off themes while still keeping this random feature. Every theme also has a special sound when you don't get out of bed after 15 minutes, like Bowser getting angry. Or a guardian threatening you. My favorite feature of the device is the hourly chime. Every theme will have a different way of telling the time. Alarmo will only do this outside of the bedtimes you set yourself. They vary from Mario getting coins to Pikmin being pulled from the ground. Mario Kart is also fun. It sounds like the carts are actually passing. Last but not least, there's a bedtime sounds feature. My personal favorite is hearing the Hyrule Field sounds from Zelda. I prefer all of them to be ambient sounds. These start to play when you approach Alarmo around bedtime and play for around 5 minutes. Some of these themes are too loud or active, however. I'd love for Nintendo to add more themes later. Give me a Super Smash Bros. Theme, Star Fox, or Super Mario Galaxy, or maybe even Sonic. A man can dream, right? So, I use this thing for a year now. What do I think about it? Let's start off with what I like. The thing is super charming. The sound quality is actually quite nice. I love these quirky Nintendo products. And while the design is a bit weird with the round button, once you get used to it, it's easy to use. Did it actually help me get out of bed more quickly? And I have to say, it actually does. Not because it's so annoying, but if you go back into bed, it just starts again. I really like having this fun clock in my room. However, it's not all positive. I have one big problem with it. It also wakes me up during the night. If it gets dark, Alarmo will dim the display. You can also enable it to dim completely, unless it detects movement. In my case, my Alarmo is behind my head on my nightstand, quite close to my face, which means that if I move, the light turns on and shines right into my face. I have noticed that this wakes me up sometimes, meaning I would just pull the plug after using it for a couple of nights to get a good night of sleep in. This is definitely a device to use if you're single. My girlfriend did not like my new alarm clock, but I guess that fairy did not make a good first impression. Or Pikmin drowning until you get up? Yeah, you heard that right. It also simply does not work for two people, unless you both have to wake up at the same time. Because Alarmo would start ringing again until the bed is empty. You could change the setting and use the button to turn it off, but that removes Alarmo's most unique feature, sensing whether you are still in bed. So, after all of this, would I recommend buying Alarmo? I think for kids it would be great. Though the price places it in a weird spot, because 100 currently makes it definitely an adult priced product in my opinion. I bought this with my own money and I don't regret getting it. The hourly chimes and the bedtime sounds still put a smile on my face every time. When you look at Alarmo, it sees you move and Mario or another character will move around on the display. It's just a lot of fun to have in your room. Though, after using it for a year, the novelty of the alarms has definitely worn off. Because I don't like waking up early. It's like using your favorite song as your alarm. After some time you will hate it when you hear it during the day. That's why I hope they will add more themes soon, to give it a breath of fresh air. Though I am not counting on it, to be honest. So future or current time Willem here. Apparently there are new alarms available. And there it is. I think I would move Alarmo to my desk and use it as a desk clock instead of waking up with it. I think it's a fun, unique product for Nintendo fans. Though it's a bit on the expensive side. Thank you so much for watching. I am wondering about your opinion. Did you get an Alarmo as well? And what do you think about it? Will you maybe get one in the future after this video? Let me know in the comments. A like and a subscribe would help the channel tremendously. So become a controller fan today. See you next time. Bye bye.